Finally, it's over with international break, and even if we are waiting for the last players to join La Continassa, we can now speak only about Juventus Inter, the big game, -3, that will be played in the Allianz Stadium on Saturday. I can't wait. What a game. Juve Inter is always special, always controversial. I can't wait. Seriously. 6 p.m. Italian time in our home. And of course, the Italian pages are speaking only and focusing only about the Derby d'Italia. We wait no longer because we immediately open the 3 pages with Corriere dello Sport that is telling us il derby straniero, the derby of the foreign who? The foreign coaches, Igor Tudor on the bench of the Bianconeri, Christian Chivu on the bench of the Nerazzurri, 2 ex-players of respective teams that now are leading their teams, new coaches, ex-players that will have to prove themselves in their very first Derby d'Italia. And then we go towards Tutto Sport. A question asked to Alessio Tacchinardi and to Aldo Serena. Who is the best one between Yildiz and Lautaro? The strongest one is, I will let you discover Alessio votes and ratings and the ones of Aldo Serena, but you can already guess who they voted. Gazzetta dello Sport that is reporting as a double-page interview to Jonathan David. Jonathan David, I dream a goal against Inter. We will speak about him in a second. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Look, today it's a day full of surprises. The one that we were waiting for since extremely long, nearly as a new signing, is the third kit. And I know that after the home, the away, the one that is the most waited for from the fans is the third kit with that vintage zebra logo. Well, while you will watch that video, probably it will already be online. We are just waiting 10 a.m. in Italy for the official images launched by Juve. It's already blurred on their site and also on Instagram yesterday with a kind of teaser. And no, for the people that were asking me on Telegram group, it's not Beppe that is blurred in that image, but it is Jegrova. I can't wait to go for the third shirt. Let me know if you will buy it and who you will stamp in the back. If you will stamp someone, will you go with sponsor, with double sponsor? Let me know all the details. I'm extremely curious. Not only the third shirt that could possibly already be played with in the first game in the Allianz Stadium, means not the second game but the first upcoming game against Inter, but also newnesses because yesterday in the Museum Hall of Fame has been inaugurated. You know that I am a huge big fan of our museum, a moment of pride, a moment of nostalgia going back to what is Juventus. Extremely important. If you have never been to the museum, go seriously. It's something that I recommend you to do because it's a moment out of time. It's a moment of self-reflection of why you love Juve so much. Sometimes when we are speaking about actuality, sometimes when we are in a negative cycle, well, it's tough sometimes to actually keep faith, keep strong. Well, when you go to the museum, you understand again why, and you have that sense of belonging, that sense of passion, that love for the Bianconeri. Well, yesterday, a new addition. That's probably one of the things that I'm the most proud of our museum, that it's a living museum. It's not there and this is it, but every year, every 2-3 years, we start with new initiatives to actually making even more powerful. Also, that the fans that already visited it can go again and discover new things. Yesterday, Hall of Fame, so you will not have that line anymore, that queue of shirts of player with their last shirt that will be exposed there, but you will have a dedicated room with 50 players that are there, really beautiful. There are some criterias, of course, but the beautiful thing is that it will be an interactive, beautiful room where you enter, the lights will stop and you will have actually some spots on some shirts. And while shirt, for example, the one of Platini or the one of Zinedine Zidane, will be illuminated on the screens, you will have their best moments with the Bianconeri, something extremely beautiful that gives you a lot of emotions. Yesterday, Gianluca Pessotto was there. We had Giorgio Chiellini, we had Damien Comoli, a lot of representatives from Juve were there yesterday. What are the criteria to enter? Well, at least 350 games, for example, won 15 or more trophies, being a historical captain with at least 70 times the armband on your arm, scoring at least 100 goals of Juve, or you won the Ballon d'Or while you were actually wearing the Juventus shirt. These are the criteria. And of course, you will tell me, Beppe, then if we are respecting them, is it true that Dybala and Cristiano Ronaldo will be there? From what I understood, no, not yet, because they are speaking about players that are already retired. So no players in activity. You will tell me, Beppe, but what about the coaches, Marcello Lippi, etc., etc.? Attenzione, because these ones can enter in the future. It's a living project, as said by Juve Football Club, because at the moment we start with 50 names, and then fans will be able to vote who will be the new entry, maybe swapping with other players or making new space, I don't know, but fans will be able to vote who to enter in the 50 names, which will be really beautiful, and also coaches will be able to enter the Hall of Fame. It's beautiful, guys. Now, another newness, and we are still now speaking about Juve Inter, another newness will be the ref cam for the very first time in Italy. You know it, we already discovered it during the FIFA Club World Cup. It's really beautiful because certain moments of the games are actually in replay shown by the camera that is actually on the ear. It's not here, it's on the ear of the referee that is actually shooting in first person from the referee while he's running. Something really appreciated, or at least I really loved it when we saw these moments. I would not be able to watch 90 minutes like that, but some moments like that in replay are really beautiful because it's really immersive. You're really into the game, so bravo for that initiative. Now, attenzione, because great, fantastic that we think ahead, that we are looking at the future. On the other side, don't forget the basics. There are so many things that we still need to fix before speaking about RefCom. So we are speaking about the stadiums, we are speaking about the luminosity of the stadium, that not everywhere in Italy is really beautiful. So there are so many things that we need to fix. But anyway, I'm saying welcome to the RefCam. Then, if we know that we have 380 games in Serie A and they decided to wait until Juve Inter to test it for the very first time, I don't know about that choice. I would love to see what kind of controversy will happen actually because of the RefCam in Juve Inter. What about Conceicao? Conceicao trained in an isolated way. So, un momento di sollievo, di sospiro. We are there saying, luckily there is no lesion for the Portuguese player. Does that mean that he will be there on the field against Inter? No, but there is no lesion, which is great because we are avoiding losing him for a long time. I told you, Conceicao is a player that in the beginning of the season is always losing a few games there. So the updates from La Continassa is training in an isolated way. Probably he will miss one Juve Inter, probably also Juve Dortmund before coming back and playing with the team. Let's see if we can recuperate it a bit earlier, but cautious. Being cautious, no taking any risk is the order of the J Medical. Cabal and Perin fully with the team. It's great news also for Cabal, the Colombian player that we are waiting for since November. Cambiaso and Gatti did a full training with the team like co-managers. Why? Because these three players didn't play a lot, or some didn't play a single minute, like Gatti and co-managers with their national team. Locatelli and Kenan were there yesterday. They were actually recuperating, so probably only fitness, so not taking part of the session with the team. Miretti individually, so also for him the chances to be there against Inter are quite small, like also Conceicao immediately individual training, so that means already, and that's a good news, that he's already on his way of coming back. What about Openda and Jegrova? Well, Openda and Jegrova did a full training yesterday. Can we see the Kosovo-Albanian player immediately from the first minute? No, because Openda is ahead of him. But on the other side, they are telling us that if we play really with a 3-4-1-2, well, Openda could have chances, bigger chances than Dusan Vlahovic to play against Jonathan David. Jonathan David, we go back to the first page of Gazzetta dello Sport. Sogno un gol all'Inter. I'm dreaming a goal against Inter. Well, he spoke about Inter that indeed were interested in the Canadian player. They tried, they spoke with him, they made an offer. At least that's what the rumors are saying, yeah, it's true. They work on some contacts, but never really into detail. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, he's saying, I'm extremely happy to be at Juve. I knew that I was signing for a big club, but from the moment that you are in the club, well, you understand the greatness of it. I don't know if you already went to the J Museum. I don't know if you already visited the new Hall of Fame, but I would recommend Jonathan David to go there. Then he said something that will surprise some of you, and it's not surprising me. He said, Who surprised me the most in training session? Well, it is Locatelli. Not only in training session, but his ability of passes are immense. It's something that really surprised me in a crazy way, in a positive way. Why am I telling you that I'm not surprised? Because Timothy Weah immediately said the same thing. He said the same thing. I spoke with a lot of players, I think also in interview, when I was doing the interviews on Twitch, where I was asking exactly the same questions. Who surprised you the most to the new players? And they always told me Manu Locatelli. So is Manu Locatelli not a world-class player, a phenomenal starter? We know all the controversy around the Italian players. No, but if all the players are telling you Locatelli surprised me the most in his ability of passes, well, it's a skills that we need to monitor closely, because I understand more and more why coaches are playing him. Now, should he dare a bit more? Should he take some more risk? Well, it could be, depending also what the coaches are asking for him. Anyway, Jonathan David continued to speak. He said, Juventus, alla Juventus ogni cosa è grande e deve essere fatta al top. Everything at Juve is huge and needs to be done at the top, he said in the interview Gazzetta dello Sport. And then he said, can I play with Dusan Vlahovic? Yes, I can, of course, but it's Tudor that is deciding. Yildiz can be our Yamal. He has everything to become a top player. What about Jegorova? Well, he's a top player as well, an incredible player, a really beautiful signing. What about the competition between all the offensive players? Said it's something positive for the team, because we have different solutions that are all bringing quality. And speaking about Yildiz, the future Yamal, the potential Yamal, as said by Jonathan David, well, tutto su Kenan illumina la Juve, poi si sarà rinnovo. Everything will be, or our eyes, not only the ref cam, will be pointed on Kenan Yildiz in the Derby d'Italia, and after that there will be the renewal that can go up, increasing to 5 million euro net, including bonuses. The eyes of the cameras of the ref cam and the fans will not be on Weston McKennie. That looks like he will not start the Derby d'Italia, except of surprises, newnesses by Igor Tudor. But Weston McKennie is a player that could possibly at the end of this season leave Juve, because he's in his last year of contract, a contract that at the moment the parts are not looking to renew, or at least they don't find an agreement that was found more or less with Cristiano Giuntoli, but never signed, and without the signature, well, we cannot go ahead when now there is already MLS that tried and that is interested in the USA boy, in Texas boy. Let's see, because you know what is true today can sometimes be different tomorrow, especially if we're speaking about the Weston McKennie that is always starting last in the starting blocks, and then he's starting to escalate, to go up in the ranking, deserving to be not only a starting but maybe even an extension. Let's see what will happen for Weston McKennie this season. Important is that we just entered Juve Inter -3, and I can't wait to see you probably later today, if not tomorrow. Grazie, forza, Juve.